It's your girl Valentina, the African Dominican. I am here with my friend Robel from Ethiopia, and we both live in the USA, in the Washington, D.C. area. So he's a special guest, and we are here today because we are going to do a reaction to a video that I posted about 3 months ago about Ethiopians saying they're not black, they're Ethiopian. That video got a lot of views. I think right now it's at 102,000 views and a lot of comments, all right? And of course, Robel is one of the main stars on that video. Do you consider yourself black or Ethiopian? How do you identify?
Well, black is a concept. It's a made-up construct. It doesn't exist.
Okay.
Because I'm not black.
Let me ask you this question. Do you identify as black or as Ethiopian?
Definitely Ethiopian.
Definitely Ethiopian. Were you Ethiopian first? And then, like, you don't consider yourself black at all?
No, never. I've never considered myself as a black.
Hi, my name is Robel. I live in the DMV area, and yeah, so I'm happy to react to this video.
Before we continue with this discussion, some people actually accuse me of having an agenda when I ask you guys that question. Do you think that I came across as somebody who has an agenda against Ethiopians?
No, I think it's an interesting question to get an interesting response.
Right. I don't have anything against Ethiopians. And that video, it went viral, but it was just me being curious, because Dominicans get a lot of heat for saying that they're not black, but the name Ethiopian is kind of like a derogatory term to mean burnt face. Is that true?
Well, we're called Ethiopia, which is in the Greek is translated as burnt face, which I don't find offensive at because there's nothing wrong with identifying the color of our skin. And when I'm talking about race, we're not talking about the color of our skin, we're talking about the categorization of people. But that's the Greeks, that's what the Greeks called us.
Okay.
We're Abyssinia originally.
So Abyssinia is another name for Ethiopia?
For that region, yeah.
Okay.
Well, black is a concept. It's a made-up construct. It doesn't exist.
Okay.
Because I'm not black. I'm brown.
Right.
So they use the color black to categorize us and tell us how to live, how to talk, how to exist. But I choose to identify with being Ethiopian.
Nice.
But that's a choice because I can choose to identify with whatever I want.
Right.
I identify with my nationality, which is Ethiopian. I also identify as being an American.
Before they told me I was black, I didn't know I was black. Before they put these words on me, I didn't know what I was. So at the end of the day, I choose to identify, this is deeper spiritually, with something that transcends what's on the outside of my skin. But at the end of the day, I'm a human being. There's only one race, and it's the human race. For a while, I used to identify with black culture.
Right.
And so
what's black culture?
So it depends, right? So it could be, we can identify with everything that had to do with people from African origin. So
only in America, people identify by their skin color.
Oh,
but
wow.
elsewhere, like other black people from Africa, the Caribbean, they go by their nationality. So I feel like race in America, like you say, is very, it's a big deal here to identify by your skin color. Africans, when they come, if you say, are you black? They're like, well, I'm Nigerian, I'm Namibian, I'm African, or I'm Caribbean, I'm Jamaican. They don't say I'm black and I'm from Jamaica, they say I'm Jamaican by their nationality. So, but why do you think in America they really go a lot by their skin color?
Oh, that's a good question. I think maybe the powers that be are trying to control people, to segment them, teach them how to think, teach them how to live so that they can use them and target them specifically when it comes time to vote.
Right.
Me personally, I don't like to identify, I don't like to have mental borders when I look at people.
Right.
But based on the color of your skin.
Right.
I believe in what Dr. Martin Luther King said, where he identifies people based on the content of their character. And so we are all human beings, no matter what the color of your skin is, no matter what country you come from, we all bleed the same color, whether somebody's white, Asian, or whatever. I look at them as a human, and so they're my brother and my sister.
We never called ourselves black. The scientists called us black. We've accepted it. How would we do that? That doesn't make any sense. We have our own names for ourselves. That's true.
So those of you who came against this gentleman here saying he's lost, he's not lost. He just sees it differently, and it makes a lot of sense. Even to me, it makes a lot of sense. So you're saying that a lot of people in Ethiopia feel the same way you do?
A lot of people, yeah, because a lot of Ethiopians have had the privilege to live in their own bubble.
Okay.
And so they haven't been educated on race theories.
Right. So people don't look at you guys by your skin tone.
Some people do, yes.
Okay, and how do you categorize that?
Well, it depends on how exposed you are to this idea of race.
Right.
So if you have been exposed to, this idea that white people are superior,
right.
Then yeah, some people who are lighter skinned like myself, they
right.
think they're superior. But I don't think most Ethiopians do that though.
You don't think most Ethiopians do that?
No, actually most Ethiopians, they're united by their tribe. Right. We have over 80 tribes.
Okay.
And so we're united based on that.
That's a lot of tribes.
And a lot of people don't know that, like, even why this whole thing of like, you're my sister because you're black
right.
and stuff like that, right? Africans are more genetically diverse, even from neighboring tribes.
Right.
They are more diverse genetically than other Europeans. So they're different, right. Dramatically different all throughout Africa.
But the diversity is more with the culture and not with the skin tone.
Even their own genetics.
Right. There's no class issue in Ethiopia whereby if you're lighter skinned, you get better jobs or you get better treatment. There's nothing like that in Ethiopia.
Unfortunately, there are some people all throughout the world.
Right, all throughout the world. Okay.
We're not unaffected by it.
Right.
But yeah, we're more divided by ideas, okay. Philosophy, religion.
Right.
So that's a stronger binding factor.
Right.
And in fact, this idea is purposeful. It's actually, there's an agenda to categorize us and put us into these boxes. So now I have to vote for you to be black.
Right.
Now I have to have a flag and come around people just because we're black.
Right.
Not looking at our values and our character.
It's true.
So now, what does that do to our relationship with other white people, with other Asians, with other Hispanics?
Right.
Now I look at you and I don't see your character. I don't see how good of a person you are. I don't see anything that makes you a person.
Right.
Instead, I see you based on the color of your skin.
That is true, and no one to be looked at like that.
No, it's degrading.
It's very degrading. Like I want you to see me as a person.
I think our people are very insecure.
Okay. What do you mean?
African descendants.
Okay, African descendants. In the diaspora.
In the diaspora, especially it depends on the level of trauma that you've had,
right.
The level of the disrespect that you and your people have experienced. So we become insecure.
Right.
So in that insecurity, we try to rally behind our race.
Okay.
Right? And so anybody who's not rallying around your race is seen as self-hating, Uncle Tom, or things like that.
Okay.
But they're not able to think outside of that level of thinking and think that denying being black or white or Asian is not self-hate at all.
Right.
It's about knowing who you are.
It's about knowing who you are. And why do you think they feel that self-hate? Where did that come from?
From trauma, I think, and
what kind of
negative self-image. So, for instance, in America, right? For instance, look, if you Google, do some research, Google right now, who invented race?
Huh.
People don't even know that race was invented.
Interesting. Okay, so who would tell us who invented race?
So in the 1700s, there was a German social scientist.
Okay.
I think it's Johann Lumberbach or something like that. And he categorized all human beings within 5 races that we now categorize.
Wow, that's interesting.
And a lot of people, social scientists under him, has used his science to justify the enslavement and the oppression of African people.
Oh, okay.
And so when Africans first identify with this racist construct and are proud of it, they're doubly deceived. Take back a negative construct put on them and think that's how they can have pride in themselves, instead of actually removing the foundation, because they measure the craniums of the different races.
Okay.
And they determined that the Caucasian race had bigger craniums, so they determined that they deserve to be the most intelligent race.
Interesting. One thing, me and you both live in Washington DC area, and there's a lot of Ethiopians here. A lot of Africans are here complaining, saying that Ethiopians don't like to mingle with other Africans. So they say that Ethiopians don't like to be around other Africans. Do you find that to be true?
Yeah.
Yeah, but why do you think that is?
I think we have a strong sense of unity through our culture and our values.
Right.
I think human beings, that's just how human beings are. Right? If you tell me, I don't care if you're African or black, but if you say you're a cannibal, right? Yeah. I'm not gonna stick with you just because you're African.
That's true.
Right?
Right.
So the same thing is if you have a different religion. So human beings naturally bind with people who have shared values, right? Mm-hmm. So I think because Africa is diverse, because Ethiopia is diverse, because Ethiopia is so distinct, we don't know, but Ethiopia has a over 3,000-year-old culture that has never been, So I think we stick with people that we just have shared values.
Do you hear a lot of people saying that Ethiopian women are some of the most beautiful women in the world? Do you hear that a lot?
I hear that.
And how do you guys feel about that?
I will say that it's unfortunate that a lot of them see us as beautiful because we have European features or Arab features. I think there's something wrong with that.
Right.
So it's hating about that.
That's true.
That they can't. I think everyone should see themselves as beautiful, regardless if they look like mainstream. What's beautiful in the mainstream.
I agree. So what are Ethiopians mixed with?
We are much larger, right? So we expanded all the way from southern Egypt all the way to Yemen, right? And so we are, so we were all the way in the Arab Peninsula. So so there's Arab, North African, and also Italian.
So Ethiopia was not colonized at all, right? Some people say that's not true.
Well, there were two attempts actually.
Okay.
And those two attempts by the Italians failed to conquer Ethiopia. One, I think, just they struggled with fighting in the landscape. So very mountainous area. So just through strategic guerrilla warfare.
So that's the reason why you were not colonized, because it was not easy for them to penetrate.
So their advanced warfare didn't work.
They were also outnumbered, but they were more Ethiopians.
So the Italians occupied Ethiopia for about 22 years, but were never successful in fully colonizing.
Okay.
Were eventually kicked out of Ethiopia.
Any final thoughts?
I would say, just identify yourself based off of the values and beliefs that you have. You have more in common with a white person or Asian person who thinks the same as you, who has the same values, than you do with another African who has different values. So I would just say, just try to be more human. You know what I mean? And see us all human beings on the same team. Some of you guys, because of your video, have messaged me asking questions and say we could get some resources. So follow me at Robel at Instagram.
Guys, that's the end of my video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found it helpful. And of course, don't forget to leave your comment below, like and share. All right. To all my people of African heritage, please, let's embrace our Africanness. Africa is beautiful. You are beautiful. To my non-African heritage people, you are loved. You are welcome to anytime. And of course, I love you guys. Thank you for support and God bless.